Good morning everyone. I am Faiza Singh, Assistant Professor, Babu Banarsi Das University, Lucknow. Today I am going to discuss about medication adherence. Medication adherence. It refers to the patient's conformations with the provider's recommendations with respect to timing, doses and frequency of medications taken during the prescribed length of time. Benefits of medication adherence. Enhances patient safety, decreases healthcare cost, improve long-term therapies and outcomes, good investment for tackling chronic conditions. Medication non-adherence statistics. Patients with psychiatric disabilities are less likely to be compliant. Overall, about 20 to 50% of patients are not adherent to medical therapy. Non-adherence to medication is estimated to cause 1,25,000 deaths annually. People with chronic conditions only take about half of their prescribed medications. Adherence drops with long waiting times at clinics or long time lapses between appointments. 1 in 5 patients started on warfarin therapy for atrial fibrillations discontinue therapy within 1 year. Adherence to treatment regimens for high blood pressure is estimated to be between 50 and 70%. Rate of adherence have not changed much in the last 3 decades despite World Health Organization and Institute of Medicine's improvement goals. Medication adherence in United States. Rate of medication adherence drop after first 6 months. Only 51% of Americans treated for hypertension are adherent to their long-term therapy. About 25 to 50% of patients discontinue statins within 1 year of treatment initiation. Cost of medications non-adherence. Annually, non-adherence cost $2,000 per patient in physician's visits. Non-adherence results in an economic burden of $100 to $300 billion per year. Non-adherence accounts for 10% to 25% of hospital and nursing homes admissions. The rate of non-adherence is expected to increase as the burden of chronic disease increases. Revenue loss by major pharmaceutical class. 5 dimensions of non-adherence. Define adherence as a multi-dimensional phenomena determined by the interplay of 5 sets of factors. A holistic approach to address improves medication adherence. These dimensions interact with one another. Patients solely responsible for taking their treatments. These are the 5 WHO dimensions of adherence: social and economic, healthcare system, condition-related, therapy-related, and patients-related. Socioeconomic factor considers poverty, illiteracy, unemployment, family dysfunction, high cost of transport, high cost of medications, low level of education, poor socioeconomic status, unstable living conditions, and long distance from treatment center. Condition-related factors consider disability level, follow-up treatment, emphasis on adherence, available effective treatments, progressions, severity of disease, and comorbidities. Examples: depression and drug alcohol abuse. Therapy-related factors consider side effects, treatment durations, available medical supports, complex medical regimens, previous treatment failures, immediate beneficial effects, frequent changes in treatment. Patient-related factors consider forgetfulness, low motivation, psychosocial stress, disbelief in the diagnosis, low treatment expectations, low attendance at follow-up, lack of acceptance of monitoring, disease symptoms and treatment, hopelessness, and negative feelings. Health system factors consider short consultations, poor health services, interventions for improving it, overworked healthcare providers, poor medication distribution systems, inadequate training for healthcare providers, lack of incentives and feedback on performance, lack of knowledge on adherence and of ineffective, weak capacity of the system to educate patients and provide follow-up, inability to establish community support and self-management capacity. Strategies to improve medication adherence. The simple approach. S for simplify the regimen, I for impart knowledge, M for modify patient belief and behavior, P for provide communication and trust, L for leave the bias, and E for evaluate adherence. S for simplify the regimens considers encourage use of adherence aids, investigate customized packaging for patients, adjust timing, frequency, amount and doses, match regimen to patient activities of daily living, consider changing the situation versus changing the patients, avoid prescribing medications with special requirements, and recommend taking all medications at the same time of day. I for import knowledge considers advice on how to cope with medication cost, focus on patient-provider shared decision making, involve patient family or caregiver if appropriate, keep the team informed, physician, nurses, pharmacists, provide all prescriptions instructions clearly in writing and verbally, reinforce all discussions often especially for low literacy patients, suggest additional information from internet for interested patients. M for the modify patients, which considers belief and behavior, address fears and concerns, provide rewards for adherence, empower patients to self-manage their conditions, ask patients about the consequences of not taking their medications, have patients restate the positive benefit of taking their medications, ensure that patients understand their risk if they don't take their medications. P for provide communication and trust, which considers use plain language, practice active listening, provide emotional support, improve interviewing skills, and elicit patient inputs in treatment decisions. L for the leave the bias, which considers development patient-centered communication style, acknowledge biases in medical decision making, understand health literacy and how it affects outcomes, address dissonance of patient's provider, race, ethnicity and language, examine self-efficacy regarding care of racial, ethnic and social minority population. Evaluating adherence self-report. Ask about adherence behavior at every visit periodically. Review patient's medications containers, noting renewal dates. Use biochemical tests. Measure serum or urine medication level as needed. Use medication adherence scales, example Morsky 8, in short form MMAS 8. Medication possession ratio MPR and proportion of days covered PDC. Factors associated with adherence and non-adherence. Adherence, communication with providers, locked living situations, insight into illness, routine, structure, medication bubble packs, current list of medications, trust in provider or clinic. In non-adherence, independent living, schizophrenia symptoms, history of negative experiences with the healthcare systems, changes in healthcare providers, poor communication with providers, stigma, lack of efficacy, distrust of the healthcare system, and lack of patients' education. General guide to choosing medication adherence scale based on disease of interest, therapeutic area and medication adherence scale. Therapeutic area, metabolic disorders like hypertension, dyslipidemia and diabetes. Medication adherence scales, MAQ, shortest to administer, SEAMS, assessed self-efficacy. BMQ, diabetes only. Hillbone, compliance scale, hypertension in predominantly black populations, in which MAQ, medication adherence questionnaire. SEAMS, self-efficacy for appropriate medication use scale. BMQ, brief medication questionnaire. Mental health, schizophrenia, psychosis, depression. Medication adherence scales. MARS, medication adherence rating scales, in which schizophrenia and psychosis. BMQ for depression. Measuring adherence. There are several ways to measure medication adherence. Medication event monitoring system. These are most accurate method of measuring adherence because they record the date and time the medication bottle was opened through microprocessor technology embedded in the cap. Advantage with microprocessor. First, erroneous, not fake, false, because may remove more than one dose. Second, very expensive and different devices are needed for each medication. Next, therefore, it is an impractical way to determine adherence in clinical practice. The next method of measuring the medication adherence is patient self-report. In patient self-report is easiest method when adherence is being assessed. Open-ended questions should be asked. Instead of asking, "Are you taking your medication?" the health care provider should phrase the question along the lines of, "How many times in the past week have you skipped your medications?" Next method of measuring the medication adherence is pill counts. Next one, pharmacy database of refill rates. Blood levels, in which also are employed in research, are more feasible option for clinical practice. And other is Moresky medication adherence scale. It was designed to distinguish poorly adherent patients from those with medium to high adherence to their hypertensive regimen. Effective strategies for improving hypertension medication adherence. Team-based core, pharmacist-led multi-component interventions, education with behavioral support, pill counting, blister packaging, electronic monitoring, telecommunication system for monitoring and counseling, single dose versus multiple dose prescribed. How to overcome challenges or barriers by system change. First, introduce team-based core in which collaborate with pharmacists or nurses, educate patients on how to take medications, monitor by pill box. Next, improve access and communications in which offer patients the opportunity to contact the provider's office with any questions. Use telemedicine, particularly in rural areas. Next, use technology and analytical services that facilitate measuring and improved adherence. Methods can improve medication adherence by pharmacists. Use kitchen table consults, improve pharmacy workflow, simplify patients' medications, identify reasons for medications non-adherence, and ask patients specific questions about their medications. Role of pharmacist in the medication adherence. While medication dispensing is the best known function of the pharmacist, pharmacists through counseling, medication therapy management, disease state management, and other means can play a pivotal role in the patient care. Here are opportunities in every type of pharmacy practice to improve patient adherence and therapeutic outcomes, and pharmacists must embrace and act on them. Pharmacists playing important role by giving patients education. Dosing simplification and minimization of adverse effects are extremely successful strategies for improving adherence. Preparing a dosing card containing only the most essential element of patient medication can be highly beneficial. It can be extremely helpful for patients who take many medications or who have cognitive barriers. Next, dosing cards. Reminder calls, texts, or emails are helpful for many patients, especially those with busy lifestyle. Automatic refills are a useful strategy. Next, whatever the barriers to adherence may be, the only way to assess them is to talk to the patients. The pharmacist needs to be diligent, pay attention about including the patients in the treatment experience. The more trust the patient has in the pharmacist, the more he or she will open up and disclose any apprehensions or difficulties about taking his or her medications. Only then can the pharmacist play an integral role in improving a patient's adherence. Hospital Formulary. Hospital Formulary is a continually revised compilation of pharmaceuticals, including important ancillary information that reflect the current clinical judgment of the medical staff. The Hospital Formulary System is a method by which the medical staff of a hospital, with the help of pharmacy and therapeutic committee, selects and evaluates medicinal agents and their dosage form, which are considered to be the most useful in the patient care. It provides information for procuring, prescribing, dispensing, and administration of drugs under brand names where the drug have both names. Origin of a Hospital Formulary. The first scientific hospital formulary in India was published in 1968 by the Pharmacy Department of CMC Vellore. The first hospital formulary for the government teaching hospital in India was published in 1997 at Government College Hospital at Trivandrum. Types of hospital formulary. First type, open formulary. An open formulary serves merely as a guide. A physician may prescribe any drug but is encouraged to use the formulary list in prescribing decisions. Second one, closed or restricted formulary. A closed or restricted formulary lists the drugs that will be reimbursed by the healthcare providers. Non-formulary drugs will be reimbursed only if they are authorized prior to prescribing. Next type of formulary is incentive-based formulary. An incentive-based formulary represents a hybrid between the open and closed formulary. Patients pay a higher price for non-formulary drugs. Members involved in the preparation of hospital formulary: a representative clinician from each major specialty, a clinical pharmacologist, a nurse, usually the senior infection control nurse or sometimes the matron, a pharmacist, usually the chief or deputy chief pharmacist, a clinical microbiologist or a laboratory technician where there is no microbiologist, a member of the hospital records departments, an administrator representing the hospital administration and finance department. Need of hospital formulary. The increasing number of new drugs manufactured and marketed by drug companies, increasing complexity of untoward effects of modern potent drugs, newer sales promotion strategies of pharmaceutical industry, the public interest in getting possible health care at lowest possible cost. Advantages of hospital formulary: cost containment, rational prescriptions, evidence-based practice, cost-effective prescribing, efficient procurement and storage, safety and continuous care, and educational value. Disadvantages of hospital formulary: deprive the physician of his rights and privilege to prescribe and obtain the brand of his choice, permit the pharmacist to act as the sole judge of which brands of drugs are to be purchased or dispensed. Guidelines for hospital formulary. The governing body of hospitals shall appoint a pharmacy and a therapeutic committee composed of physician and pharmacist, which will prepare the hospital formulary system. The medical staff in the governing body shall sponsor and outline the purpose, organization, function and scope of the hospital formulary system. It should adopt the principle as per the need of particular hospital. The pharmacy and the therapeutic committee shall develop policy and procedure governing the hospital formulary, and the medical staff shall adopt these policies and procedures subject to administrative approval. The policy and procedures shall afford guidance, appraisal, selection, procurement, storage, distribution, use, safety procedures, and other matters relating to drug in hospital, and shall be published in the hospital formulary or other media available to member of medical staff. Prescribers should be strongly encouraged to prescribe drugs by their non-proprietary names, generic equivalents and therapeutic equivalents. Pharmacist is responsible for selecting from available generic equivalents that the prescriber has the options to specify the brand for the particular prescriptions. Pharmaceutical Therapeutic Committee is responsible for determination those drugs, products and entities. Medical and nursing staffs are informed about the changes in the hospital formulary system, labeling of medicine with non-proprietary names followed by decided formats. To develop an effective formulary system, Pharmaceutical Therapeutic Committee has to consult various references on a drug regarding its pharmacokinetic profiles, interaction, adverse drug reaction. Formulary content and organization's primary objectives: information on drugs, information on hospital policies and procedures, special information about drugs. In accordance with these objectives, the formulary should consist of three main parts: information on hospital policies and procedures concerning drugs, drug product listing, and special information. Hospital policies and procedures, which consist drug use, description of Pharmaceutical Therapeutic Committee, hospital regulations about prescribing, dispensing, and administration of drugs, rules for medical representatives, emergency drug products, pharmacy operating procedures, and information on using formulary. Drug product listing, which consists formulary item entries and type of information. In formulary item entries, alphabetically by generic name, alphabetically within therapeutic class. In type of information, dosage form, strength, packaging, active ingredients, adults, pediatric dose, route of administration, and cost. Indexes to the drug product listings consist generic name, brand name, therapeutic or pharmacological index. In special information consists equivalent doses of similar drugs, hospital approved abbreviations, rule for calculating pediatric doses. List of sugar-free drugs, list of delegible poisons, metric conversion tables, poison control information, and table of drug interaction. Steps involved in the preparation of hospital formulary. First of all, identify the most common disease being treated in the hospital by consulting all medical departments for each disease. An appropriate first choice of treatment should be identified using standard treatment guidelines. An expert committee can be brought together to identify the appropriate treatment for each of the common health problems. The alternative method is reviewing the WHO model list of essential medicines may also be used as a starting point. After that, a draft of the list must be prepared and must be given to each department to the comment on the list. The Drug and Therapeutic Committee must deliberate on their comments and provide feedback. After that, all information should be discussed with evidence-based reviews where possible. And after the preparation of final list, monograph for each drug should be prepared and it should contain unbiased information. Preparation of formulary. Preparation of a hospital formulary is a principal responsibility of the pharmacy and the therapeutic committee. However, it is also rests primarily on the chief pharmacist service, etc. The committee is free to make necessary decisions regarding the material to be included in the formulary, and pharmacists undertake the production of formulary, that is compiling and printing. If it is decided that the publication is to be a formulary, a decision must be reached as the possible contents other than the section on various therapeutic agents. First section on prescription writing. Second one, section governing to the use of drug. And third section on diagnostic reasons and normal pathological investigational reasons, etc. Section 4 on pharmaceutical classifications, which are good guidelines for pharmacists and nurses. Next section, poison and their antidotes. Next, posological tablets and tablets of metric weight and measures and their equivalent of apothecary and household measures, calculation and doses for various age groups, especially of children. It should also be decided at the outset as what sort of format should be formulary adopt and how should be its size, printed or cyclostyled. Next, whether loose leaf or bound, the advantage of the former are the addition and deletion of pages of various sections or main body of the drug list are possible. Formulary development process, committees, therapeutic assessments committee, pharmacy and therapeutic committee, value assessment committee. Clinical consideration only, no financial, clinical and financial in value assessment. Therapeutic Assessment Committee reviews available evidences, creates monographs for pharmacy and therapeutics. Pharmacy and therapeutics reviews monographs, determine clinical parameters for value assessments. Value Assessments Committee uses parameter to perform analysis, makes formulary recommendations for pharmacy and therapeutics. Pharmacy and therapeutics reviews value assessments recommendations, makes final determinations about formulary. Content of hospital formulary. A typical formulary must have the following composition: first, title page; second, name and title of member of pharmaceutical therapeutic committee; third, table of content; fourth, information on hospital policies and procedures containing drugs; fifth, products accepted for use at hospital; sixth, appendix. Supplementary information on each drug consists storage guidelines, patient counseling information, labeling information, brand name and prices. Prescribing and dispensing guidelines consist principle of prescription writing, reporting adverse drug reaction, prevention of adverse drug reactions. General drug use and advice consist use of intravenous drugs, special situations like pregnancy, breastfeeding, liver and kidney diseases, poisoning information and their antidotes. Treatment of snake bites and insect bites. In miscellaneous section, children dose, renal adjustment, metric units and diagnostic aids. Revision of formulary. The Pharmaceutical Therapeutic Committee holds meeting to discuss about the revision of the formulary. The annual revision is necessary because of the changes in the drug products, removal of certain drugs from the market and changes in the hospital policies. The addition of details of a drug is done by attaching the supplement sheets at the back of the formulary. The addition of any drug to the formulary is a complex decision. All steps prior to the addition or deletion of a drug must be reported to the medical staff. Criteria for addition or deletion of drugs. The subject drug must be present in the Pharmacopoeia or National Formulary of India. The drug product is to be manufactured by a licensed company with a good record. The preparation of known composition can only be added to the formulary. The subject drug product should receive approval for its clinical value by the local physician. The drugs of established therapeutic efficacy can only be added to the formulary. Role of pharmacist in the preparation of hospital formulary. The pharmacist collects information on various drugs to be included in the formulary from different pharmacopoeias, evaluates various drugs as per the guidelines of the Pharmaceutical Therapeutic Committee. He is mainly involved in the preparation of the formulary under the guidance of Pharmacy and Therapeutic Committee. He is responsible for annual revision of the formulary. Thank you.